Everybody. So, I'm going to do some content today in regard to why I continue to do content like this. Why is that? Just leave it alone. Leave it in the past. If you don't say anything, it will starve it. Now, I get the theory behind it, but it doesn't work, does it? If starving something of views and discussion actually worked, then I'd be gone, wouldn't I? I'd be gone. I wouldn't be here anymore. I'd disappear into the ether. I would have given up. Don't work. I do this, and I'm going to come to why at the end. So stick around. So why 2.5 years later is this still going on? Okay, because I said probably about a year ago now, just over a year ago, that's it, I'm done, I've proved my point, right? And for the most part, yeah, and I meant it. And I do mean it. I want to leave this in the past. I want to get on with what I'm supposed to be getting on with. The problem is that these people will just not leave me alone, right? This year, okay, I have basically been stalked by one of my main haters going on to events with their cronies that they know that I stand at. Now, I'm sorry. Now, I sometimes have to go to events where there's people that I don't like, and that's fair enough. It's part of the course. We're part of a community, and in a community, it's not about all getting on. We've all got different views, we've all got different beliefs, and people piss you off along the way, okay? That's part of the course, right? I do not attempt or stand at events where people literally want me dead. And if I'd known this person was going to be there, I would have pulled out. Not because I'm scared. I don't give a shit. They can send all the death magic that they want at me. I don't care, because it doesn't work, does it, dickhead? No, but because why should I have to go through that? Now, this person, they run events themselves, okay? And they have a history of pulling down other events. They send in their little rats and moles who go in and run off without paying. They send in their rats and moles to say, is the location good? Okay. They send in their rats and moles to pull out last minute, so there's empty store places and stuff like that. This person will quite happily wreck whatever they want in sight. Okay, and I've had to deal with this. Now, again, I've just I've done me, I've kept out of the way, I've been professional, I've done what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, but why does this keep happening? Because this latest attack, as I mentioned in some content the other day, started because I briefly kind of insinuated that there was a coven involved. You know, now that was instigated because somebody else decided that they were going to poke the bear. Now, why do they come after old Urban Warlock healing? Okay, because for by and large, you look at this other person, and they've kind of listened to what I've said in regard to pushing events and using something different. The problem is you can't just get a Canva reel up and put the most boring voiceover over it and expect that people go, oh my God, that's amazing, I'm going to go to that event. Join us at Bowls Over, we've got stall holders. Fuck me, what is wrong with you people? You know, the problem is why this other person, this new attacker, has come on the scene is because, yet again, I preach something different, okay? I don't wear any masks. I don't say I'm this, that, and the other if I'm not it. And this is why people continuously come after me. Because I preach something different and it goes against what they preach. So it makes them look stupid, basically. Now, the irony of it is that these people continue to do it, but inevitably they fall flat on their faces. Because they try and take me on, they either don't listen to what I've said whatsoever, or they partially listen to what I've said and cock it up because they've got no inspiration or originality for themselves, and it backfires. Because rather than going, do you know what, this guy's onto something, do you know what, this guy might not actually be talking a load of shit, they try and go out their way to prove me wrong, and inevitably it ends bad for them. Now, you know, number one, you have to understand my astral name is the Destroyer. It's not a very nice name, is it? It's a bit aggressive, right? But that is my astral name. Well, what do you think that entails? Why do you think that's my name? You know, staying quiet and doing nothing and pretending nothing's happening, yes, it might protect my vibration, but I'm not here to just protect my own vibration. It's fucking irritating when my work dries up because people poke the bear and get me in a different vibration. It's irritating. However, I know that that is going to pass within the next day or two. I'm just a bit riled up, and I'm quite within my rights to voice my grievances and my frustrations. Now, the irony of it is, people who turn around and say, oh, maybe you ought to leave it in the past now, I get that, but you're doing that because you want peace and quiet. You know, despite winning this award, there's still very, very few people who have lifted up their heads above the parapet and shown me actually any real support. So I'm very grateful that people support me enough to vote for me and get me an award. And I'm at that point now where if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But don't then insert yourself into the conversation and tell me that just starve it, don't say anything. Okay, now I get that there's people out there who don't believe in black magic. I get there's people out there who don't believe in death magic. That's perfectly fucking fine. But until you have experienced it, do not cross over the threshold. Okay, don't start giving your opinion on covens and black magic and stuff like that when you ain't got a fucking clue. When you have not got a clue. Okay? If you can go your whole life without experiencing it, well, good for you. I'm happy for you. But some of us are under constant attack. And believe you me, it's not very nice. And believe you me, there's also a lot of people out there who haven't survived it. There are some people who have taken black magic, many within the spiritual industry, who have had to go undercover to pull their work back, who have completely disappeared. Why? Because they're scared. And when it affects people around them as well, and I've heard this as well before, that's why they pull back. It's not because they're scared. It's not because they don't want to take these dickheads on. It's because they're worried about the people that they love around them. Okay, and I completely appreciate that and get that. Okay, now, when people come out and tell me to stop doing content like this, it's affecting the vibration, just starve it, that is an insult to what I have been through and what other people like me have been through as well. Now, it's funny how life pans out, because somebody came to me this morning, as I was thinking this morning, right, I'm going to do some content about this. Somebody messaged me, and I'm going to show that message at the end, and then I'm going to pin it to my FB, right? Now, we can all sit there and say, oh, just leave it now, pretend it's not happening. The problem with that is, and yet again, I'm going to show you some data, right? So this is my content that I did about don't poke the bear ever, in regard to this other event organizer who decided that they were going to poke the bear in regard to me. Now, if you have a look at this, I've shared it. I shared it to my two share groups, so Urban Warlock Healing and the New Wave Spiritual Group, and my personal page. It has had over 700 views, and I've even made a couple of pence off it as well, right? You compare that to one of my short readings later on that day that was posted, or the day after, sorry, it might have been, I can't remember. Look at that. Look at that. Now, granted, I didn't share it to my personal page, but it was shared to the both share groups. And this is a constant common theme. People tell me to not do content like this, yet you'll all vicariously watch it. You'll have a good nosy at it. You'll all share it with other people. Oh, not what he's doing now, right? So you can't sit there on your high horse and tell me to not to do content like this, all the while feeding off the gossip. Don't work like that. Now let's get to the main point. Why do I do content like this? Because people call me crazy. People call me insane. People say I'm this, that, and the other. The reason why I do it is because there's a lot of people out there like me. And if I get hit with death magic and I just stay quiet about it and pretend it's not happened, all that's going to do is just slightly kind of irritate the attackers. If I do content and I call it out, many of you know that this goes on. So many of you will go, shit, they're at it again, pieces of shit. The main reason why I do this is because somebody might come across my content and go, holy fucking shit. Thank God for that. Somebody's talking about it. I've experienced that. At the time I knew it was that. And then everybody around me has gaslit me into thinking I am insane. That is why I do the content. This is why I continue to do what I do. Not because I'm trying to help you in your business, not because I ought to stay quiet because it might have an effect on your work. Because my people, the people who can see beyond the veil, who can see beyond the spiritual industry and its bullshit rhetoric, the real ones who are getting attacked, the real ones who are getting pulled down, and the real ones who day after day after day after day have to put up with people copying them, robbing their ideas, fraudulently pretending to be them, coming on their lives on fake accounts and putting blocks and restrictions on them, using energetic and magic attacks to affect their work and their life. They're the people I do it for, not you people that sit and vicariously watch this and then gossip about it. So maybe, if you want to stop it happening in your little world, in your little bubble, stop watching my fucking content. Stop watching my content and then feeding back to each other on your little Twitter train about what's the Warlock doing now. Because like you say, if you want something to go away, you starve it. All I see is that everybody around me is feeding it. I'm happy for you to feed it. I'm a content creator. I'm happy for the views. If you want me to go away, stop viewing me. It's as simple as that. Here's the post.